Hello everybody, this is Fronto Bob here and welcome to race number 47 of the 2020-21 NROL Skittles Cup Series season. This is the Mattel 400 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. We have seen two absolutely insane races this weekend so far in Atlanta, and now it's time for the Cup guys to do what they do best here at this track. We saw quite a race last time we were here with Rebecca, of course, getting her first career win. Overall, that was quite a big weekend. This weekend, they're not quite as big as we haven't seen too many first-time winners, but that being said, this could still be a big race in itself. Also, as far as championshipisms, well, Freud Bobbin still your points despite his explosion from last week. Doesn't have as big of a points gap though as he did before, as Ryan Blaney and Mercer are catching up. So these are the big three of drivers that we want to look out for today, and of course going to next races, but today especially, as today could make all the difference in the championship. So with all that in mind, let's give you the starting grid for the race. Starting the pole is Duck. Alongside him in second is Nia, who just got her first win last week. Maybe she can go two in a row. Third is Christabel. Fourth is Florida Bobbin. Fifth is Matt Kenseth. Sixth is Ryan Priest. Seventh is Felix Box Nerd. Eighth is Denny Hamlin. Ninth is Alex Bowman. 10th is Martin Truex Jr. 11th is Joey Logano. 12th is Jimmy Johnson. 13th is Tim Tom. 14th is Chase Elliott. 15th is Russell David. 16th is Brad Keselowski. 17th is Persup. 18th is Bang Coaches. 19th is Ryan Blaney. 20th is Matt DiBenedetto. 21st is Gridron. 22nd is Kyle Busch. 23rd is Oliver. 24th is Tyler Reddick. 25th is Kurt Busch. 26th is Donald. 27th is Cole Custer. 28th is Ricky Sue. 29th is Rebecca. 30th is Eric Jones. 31st is Chris Buescher. 32nd is Austin Dillon. 33rd is Clint Boyer. 34th is Douglas. 35th is Kevin Harvick. 36th is Eric Almirola. 37th is William Byron. 38th is Brian Newman. 39th is Mummy. 40th is Bud Wallace. 40th is Reed Sorensen. And 42nd is Danger 6. All the Haas guys are actually been in the back of the field. That's not a very good place to be. You want to be up front like these guys. So, I tell you what though, you got a number of drivers that are, up here as far as points, and then you have guys that are just their season is crumbling, man. And by that I mean playoff guys. However, someone's season who isn't crumbling is Russell David. Russell David finished second in the race last week at Texas. And as long as Russell David can stay consistent over these next few races, he could be back in contention to win the championship 4 races from now. Now, of course, Russell David has quite a bit of work to do. So let's see if he can put the work in and be back there when it counts. Also, Ryan Priest as well. Well, Priest doesn't have a chance, unfortunately, but you never know. So, pace car pulls off. And here we come to the stripe. And green flag is in the air for the Mattel 400 at Atlanta. Good launch from all the inside lane, actually. As Christopher Matt Kennedy the opportunity to get up here. And Ryan Priest is well going to the bottom lane. A very interesting start for the guys up front. So how long until we see some free wide action? And it could be 5 laps. Could be 10. We'll see. Also, no can driver in this race, so depending on how many straddlers we have in this race, could impact this race overall. Are going too wide though, as Duck going to the outside lane. And meanwhile, as Christabel on the low line. Christabel, another young driver. He's had an interesting season. He's got 2 race wins, both of which are on road courses, one of which was the season opener. And besides that, he's been absolutely irrelevant. But he just happens to be up here in this field. Ooh, a little bit of argy-bargy back there. Right now, though, Doug the Great Western engine with a pretty good run on the high line. And Duck takes the lead. Another thing worth mentioning, once the Truck Series went 3 wide, they stayed 3 wide for the whole race. Seems actually, of course, didn't stay 3 wide because of can't drive, but that was probably a good thing because if we saw everyone on view, it would have caused the game to lag horribly. Fortunately, though, now we're back to the Skittles Cup Series, which this mod is more optimized as far as performance, so having a whole gaggle of cars all together isn't necessarily a bad thing. 3 wide starting to form up, and Matt Kenseth the first one to take the bottom lane. Okay, there's still a little bit of lag, but it's not that bad. Ooh, Kenseth! Alright, come on, Kenseth. Trying really to take that bottom lane, and I think... Ooh, Logano's coming with him. And yep. It's 3 by 3 for the first 2 rows. Let's see how long it takes for everyone else to join in. Might take a little bit longer though, as these cars, of course, do race differently than the Truck Series. Ooh, Duck, not quite sure where to go. And there's Nia! Nia, last week's winner, getting a pretty good run on the high line. I tell you what, it would be something if Nia went for back-to-back victories and also had the SOAS girls sweep the Atlanta races in the Cup Series. Ooh, not quite this time though. Well, not quite yet. Well, let's not get too excited about that because we still have a long way to go in this race. Here comes Logano as the field goes back 2 wide. Oh! One thing I almost forgot to mention, pit stops. Those would likely be happening in this race, and they will likely impact how this race plays out. But right now, Matt Kenseth, who started well, is still doing well. Yeah. I tell you what though, Nia off to a pretty good start in this race. Went back 3 wide again though. This time it's the real Xbox nerd. There's also got a couple of Chevy drivers. Got Alex Bowman and Russell David. Now the interesting thing about Russell David is that in the races that usually have a lot of crashes, Russell David isn't that good at avoiding wrecks. But we're now at a track where wrecks aren't that common. So as long as Russell just stays out of trouble for the most part, he's good. Meanwhile, they'll duck back to the lead. Also, Froito Bobbin now leader on the high line. Oh, nope. Duck gonna come back up there. And here we go. The field has now formed. Yeah, 3 wide isms as Nia stuck on the middle lane. But hey, that's not necessarily a bad thing. And the real Xbox nerd up here in front. Another interesting point though, could we see them try to go 4 wide? We did see a couple of moments of 4 wide action in the the Truck Series race. All it feels mostly 2 by 2, so I'm not sure. Oh, is Bowman going with the run? Maybe? Ooh, can he make it work? No, he can't. Oxman tries to make it 3 wide. Or 4 wide, I mean. But not successful, though. And at the moment, it is Duck with the lead. Duck started high up. They still have... Ooh, maybe not so, as now the real Xbox nerd decides to go to the middle lane, and Alex Bowman is now on the line. Russell David up here once again, and you know, Hubert Lexpos was in this race, in the Siemens Nationals race yesterday, so again, another track for Hubie to give some talking points to Russell. Ooh, Doug with going a bit slow here. And for the 2nd week in a row, Russell David looking good. Russell David in a beautiful looking Amtrak Phase 7 paint scheme. And you know what? It's a good thing that we're seeing those Phase 7 colors one more time, because that's going to be the last time we see those colors for this season. So Russell David trying to go up with a bang in Phase 7, which is Amtrak's new livery that they unveiled in 2021. Particularly speaking, this is the version on the one of the P-42 locomotives. So get a good look at that Phase 7 car while you can. Because of course the Phase 7 colors will be back for next season, but this is the last time we're going to see them for this season. Meanwhile, got Alex Bowman, also a pretty good looking car, making it a 2x2 in the top lane. Now here we go. Wilson trying to take advantage of this, and he does. Although it seems that the high line is actually the best line to be on, be here. Okay, the best line. That's what I'm trying to say. The high line is the best line. Because right now, Duck, who has been riding high for a long time, has led a lot of the laps in this race so far. And here goes Russell David underneath Alex Bowman. And here comes Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney throwing the Bobbitt's closest competition as far as the championship is concerned. 3 wide again. Russell David with a pretty good run on the low line. And Russell David, for the second week in a row, leads a race. And just last week, Russell was driving the TRE colors and finished second. Can he improve that position by 1 and score his first career win? Well, ironically, 2 lanes up from Russell, who happens to be his boss man, Freund Bobbin. But ultimately, it is Duck who was the dominating driver of the day, and Alex Bowman in second. Ooh, the high line gets a bit of a shove here. Freund Bobbin gives Duck a good shove. And Freund Bobbin with a really good run the high lane, and Freund Bobbin in the lead. And it just so happens that his teammate is right behind him, and now Tobabin Motorsports is once again 1-2. I say once again. I don't remember the last time that Tobabin Motorsports was 1-2 in the Cup Series. It was such a long time ago, but they are back again. Tobabin Motorsports now in full force. You got the master of Freund Bobbin and the rookie in Russell David. Oh, but the bottom lane, though, is now catching up. Here is Purse surplus amount from Ryan Blaney. And remember what I said about the high lane being the best lane? Well, Freund Bobbin now moving his way up to the high lane. He is now the fastest. The middle lane, though, while not being a bad lane, is not a very good place to be either. So, well, not a very good place to be. So Russell David wants to think about getting somewhere, someplace soon. Oh, here's Duck, though, with a high lane. Duck! Wow! And Duck doing the same move that Freund Bobbin just did earlier, and now it's Duck back to the lead. Man, what a race. We still have a long way to go. Russell David is falling back a little bit, but he's stuck in the middle lane, so that's kind of to be expected. But the bottom lane doesn't have that many cars there, so Russell David could squeak his way back to the bottom lane if the opportunity arises. But right now, it's like the West Side back to the... Oh no, it's Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney with a pretty good run on the low line. You also got Matt Kenseth, who's now still up here. And Ryan Preece, another Tobabin Motorsports related car, has now joined the party. Now, no one's really sure where to go here. And here is Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney, despite being consistent, despite having a few race wins, has not won a race in quite a while. Ooh boy, this bottom lane though. This bottom is not giving the middle lane an inch. Here's the thing about Russell David, though. If he's going to have any real shot at winning this championship, he's going to have to hope that Ford Bobbitt has a bad day. So, at this point, I don't think that Russell David will become the champion. I don't think he'll be the... Well, yeah, I don't think he will be the champion. But he could at least get close. And I think if Russell is just consistent for the next few races, he can do that. So, getting close to a championship is still a very good season. And meanwhile, here is Matt Kenseth, who not long ago won. Another thing worth mentioning, Duck has absolutely dominated this race in the same way. Whoops. In the same way that Zachary Fitzwater Sr. did it in the Siemens Nationals race just yesterday. On that note, there was never really a dominating driver in the Truck Series race. Truck Series was kind of a lottery of who was going to win that race. But once Fitzwater took the lead, never looked back. And I just checked the... Actually, that reminds me, for those of you who are interested, Zachary Fitzwater Sr. led 34 laps in the Siemens National Series race, which was more than anyone else by a lot. Duck trying to repeat history and do that all over again. Tell you what, the Russell Davis starting to get shuffled back here a little bit. Yeah, I'm sure Russell, well, I'm sure anyone would love to be in the position that Duck is in. And here is Ryan Preece. And Preece, he has not had a good, playoffs at all. So Ryan Preece, far away from contending for the championship. So at this point, he's just going to be the best that he can be. And here is Ryan Preece on the Tide Pods Challenge. And another ironic thing I just realized, or just remembered, it was Marshall Burrow driving the Tide truck who won a couple days ago here. Could Tide go to victory lane 2 times in the same weekend. Meanwhile, Ford Bobbitt with a pretty good run. He's now up to first. I tell you what, Obama Motorsports came out in full force this weekend. Ooh, what is this? Oh my goodness, they're going 4 wide. 4 wide! Look at that, 4 wide for second. Oh my goodness. How did they not crash? Holy moly. Okay, so let me back down to 3 wide. I tell you what though, if for some reason there's a big crash up front, that's going to take out a lot of drivers. And here's Pruserp has found a way to the high line. Now Pruserp up to the lead. So this could be the race of who can get the best run on the high line. Russell Davis starting to fall back a little bit. Oh dear. Anyway, it is now Pruserp back up to the, or it was now back up front. Ryan Preece as well. Oh, what? To apologize for that. Installation detected. I don't know what was that for. Hey, Ryan Preece. That high line is the best line in this whole race. Here goes Ryan Preece. Pruserp. Pruserp. Pruserp not able to lead the lap. It's Ryan Preece. And I feel actually he's mostly double wide. Not a lot of three-wide action happening right now. Oh, never mind. Here is Cole Custer. I've said a lot about Cole Custer and his disastrous playoff run. So perhaps you can use this race as a way of somewhat saving a season. I mean, at this point, I don't think Cole Custer has any chance of winning this championship. So, really, a lot of these buff guys actually don't have a chance to win this championship. At this point, it's now a competition of who can be the best of the rest. Here comes Alex Bowman, who's been quietly just sitting there. Yeah, it's been a bit of a quiet day for Alex Bowman. Not sure why. Here is Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin, he's been there quite a lot. Yeah, if you didn't notice, Denny Hamlin has just been sitting up on the highline for quite some time, and now he leads a lap. Brace up though on the low line. Ryan Breeze also, Ryan Breeze on the high line. Alex Bowman. Doing some interesting things. Now we're double wide for most of this field. Most David, by the way, he's fallen back quite a bit. But that's what happens when you get stuck in a lane. You can't do anything. I think the highline might actually be the best place to be. As meanwhile, you have Freud Baldwin, who's been consistently up front in this race. I think ultimately the best lane is either the low lane or the high lane. If you're in the middle lane, you're not going to come out very well. And Ross David, unfortunately, was a victim of the middle lane. And that's why he fell back so much. So it does have time to redeem himself, or is it too little too late? Well, one point of interest is pit stops. We haven't had those yet. And I do think pit stops will be happening in this race. So let's see how long it takes for these guys to decide to pit. Hamlin, though, right now the dominator of this race. The dominator indeed. I don't know where Denny Hamlin came from, but he's now come up here. You know, Hamlin's season's been a bit of a weird one. He won New Smyrna. I think he won Michigan, and I can't remember if he won anywhere else. Ooh, Bracer with a good one on the low line. So this race is 78 laps. I'm not sure what 78 divided by 2 is. What I do at least know is that we are at least approaching the midway point in this race. Now these drivers though have a thing where they pit late in the race, like in the back half of the race, some point in the third quarter of the race. Right about then is when they pit, usually. I don't see a caution coming out, so I think this race could come down to pit stops, or it could also come down to pit stops. Even though this race is a shorter version of the race that we saw earlier on in the season, pit stops will still matter, as this race isn't quite long, or no, this race is quite long, just long enough for pit stops to become a factor. So Denny Hamlin's led quite a few laps now. That was Doug for a bit. Where's Doug, anyways? Holy moly, Doug fell off like a rock. Oh, never mind, he's in the bottom lane. He's there. Right now, he's just being quiet. Oh, here we go, Ryan Preece. Ryan Preece with the run the high line. And new leader. Oh, maybe only for a little bit, though. Yeah, Denny Hamlin shuffling back down to the low line. Here's the thing, that when they're 3 wide, you want to either be on the low line or the high line. If you're only 2 wide, though, it seems like the high line is the faster line. That being said, the Ryan Preece and Denny Hamlin are going neck and neck. Another thing to consider, what about lap traffic? Ooh. Okay, the next lap cars are a long way in front. I don't even think the lap traffic will have any impact on this race. Unless we come down to lap traffic right as this race is about to be over. It could come down to the wire. Meanwhile, a pretty good race here between Denny Hamlin and Ryan Preece. And Tyler started where else, we don't think we're going to see any 3-wide action for a while. As until the next, well, event, either pit stops or caution. Tell you what, these drivers must be on some really worn tires by now. Now, pitting will break up the field. So, we'll have to just see what happens. So, 50 laps complete. Still a good 30 or so laps to go. We haven't seen any big moves, though. So I don't know if that's everyone just being patient. Oh, here we go. Pit stops are happening now. All the guys at the bottom lane just dipped down. So here we go. Pit stops are happening. So stay with the leaders. Yeah, they have to be. Look at how slow they're having to go through these corners. Holy moly. So is now an opportunity for drivers to get up positions or something. Once again, the whole bottom lane pits for the Bob all by himself. Get the stage out this time. Alright. I tell you what though, green flag pit stops having a good time. We still have quite a number of laps to go. So quite a number of laps to have a race to the lead. Or race, yeah, race, you know what I mean. Race to the race of the sausages. There they come. First few drivers now rejoining the track. Oh, we got some. Alright, so Big Bro now rejoin the track. Alright, Priest there in that pack. Hang on, is Chase Elliott on this lead lap here? Did Chase pit? I can't really recall a time where I said it. I can't recall. I didn't notice, but Hey, where did Chase Elliott come from? What's he doing up here? Wait, why is he going so slowly? Has he pitted yet? I have no idea. Meanwhile, I can't find out who's where as far as the race lead. Okay, now. Okay, so apparently now Chase Elliott is being scored in first. Okay. So Chase Elliott now being scored as the leader. Okay, everyone's on the same pace. So Chase Elliott, through all of that, Chase Elliott due to pit cycles, Chase is now your leader. But now the field's all broken up. I believe everyone has pitted. Also, David back in 38. What happened to him? Oh, no. I have no idea what happened to Russell. Well. Oh, dear. Not being the end of his good day. So now it feels all pretty strung out. That pit stop's really impacted this race. Wow. Man. Russell must have had a bad pit stop or something. Anyways. Ooh, person right on Chase Elliott's bumper. I guess this is now the race for the lead. Everyone has pitted, so. But now the field's all strung out. So I guess now I have to wait a little bit for the field to get back together. He's got to get back together. Trouble is the field's now all spread out. So now with less than 20 laps to go. So we haven't got a clue who's going to win this. So Purse are now battling with Chase Elliott, but the thing is, that all these drivers out here in front, they're all by themselves. So I wonder how long it's going to take for the pack behind it to catch up. What happened to Russell? I'm going to have to... now let's take it up right now while we're on the subject. So we're on lap 61. So what happened to Russell? Some damage? A bad pit stop? Because he was up there. Just trying to work out what happened. So we know it was pit stops. Wow. Okay, not really in a lot of traffic here. Okay, so it comes into his box now. Okay, so pit crew, well, invisible pit crew doing their thing. And stuck. Oh, there he goes. So they didn't lose that much ground. I really can't say what happened there. He just... I guess they just didn't do good job at releasing him in time. But even that shouldn't drop him back so far. I have no idea. But just like that, he went from 13th to 38th. Oh, it's ending up in a near though. Man. Wow. I was talking all confident about Boston, but ultimately the thing that bit him was pit stops. I tell you what, though, he wasn't the only one. So let's skip forward a bit. I think we're on lap 61. No, lap 60. So I guess it was a bad pit stop, but I can't really. I can't really put a finger on it. I really can't put my finger on it. So less than 20 laps to go, like I said before, and yeah, you don't have a clear winner yet. So, okay, they're getting closer and closer, but they're slow. Oh, Ryan Preece with some moves. Wow. Man, I guess some drivers just got bit by pit road or something. Yeah, everyone has essentially the same pit crew. So, bleh, I don't know. Well then, so now that the field's mostly spread out, it's definitely taking time to get back together again. So Peruzab is in the lead, but Peruzab, he's been up front all day. But now you have Chase Elliott, who just kind of just came out of nowhere. I thought Chase hadn't pitted, but he did pit, and he is racing for the lead. This is it. So, Chase Elliott, out of nowhere, now all of a sudden he's looking to get a win in his home state. Oh, they're slowly forming up though. And we got some lap traffic. Okay. So this race isn't over yet. I know it may seem like it, but this race isn't over yet. Here, ooh, Alex Bowman on Chase Elliott. Adding more sports going. So we could see. Yeah, here's some drivers. Hendrick drivers. Here is Alex Bowman. Yes. So Bowman looking for a second win of the year. Alright, so this lead pack is starting to form up. So pretty soon we have a race in our hands. Alex Bowman being his own teammate. Alex Bowman now in contention to win this race. Actually, a lot of drivers are coming to contention. Here comes Kyle Busch. And bang coaches. I know that red card looks like Freund Bobbin, but that is bang coaches. Bang coaches having a good race. And bang coaches this season, by the way, has been absolutely terrible. It has been bad. I don't know what happened to bang coaches, but it's been awful this season. So with 10 laps to go, now here is lap down car of Mummy up here. I tell you what, I wasn't sure if lap traffic was gonna affect this race, and it is. Oops. So anyways, with that in mind, Pursup leading the race, and the high line being slowed up a little bit. I will say though, this race is kind of come out to a slightly anticlimactic finish. Well, I say that, we're still a few laps to go, so somebody somewhere could make this race into something. Another thing worth mentioning is Pursup though. If Pursup were to get this win, it's not going to automatically save his season, but it's a stepping stone towards that. And, I mean, it's still not going to put him in contention for the championship, but it might do something. Meanwhile, Russell David, I have no idea what happened to him, but that might have just sealed his fate on the championship. So we're really getting into the point of the season where we begin to separate the men from the boys. And meanwhile, so we got Ryan Blaney in 12th and Ryan Blaney in 18th. So Bobbin is actually leading over Ryan Blaney, and Truex is can't find Truex on the leaderboard. And anyways, Pursup has actually moved up here, and I think now the race is on between Alex Bowman and Pursup, although we got another lap down car that could impact this race coming up. And ironically, it is another Trump mobile that could make things interesting. Oh, Truex in 11th. Still not doing much better than Freund Bobbin though, so. Yee. Also got Kyle Busch here. So this is the pack of cars that is most likely to win this race. As laps wind down, 4 laps to go. Ooh, Ryan Preece with the last ditch effort. Ryan Preece goes low. But Alex Bowman in position to score his second win of the season. He got his first win in absolutely dominating fashion at Seagull Speedway. Now, trying to be another dominant driver in Pursup. He is trying to win today. And there is Reed Sorensen in the Trump mobile. Oh, Kyle Busch though, not giving up. Kyle Busch up here. 3 laps to go. Kyle Busch goes low. Ooh, does he have enough speed though? Does he have enough momentum to do it? Maybe. As Reed Sorensen is going to block the middle lane. And that has allowed Pursup to set sail with 2 laps to go. And now a pair of lap down cars separate Pursup and the pack. But Kyle Busch though not giving up so easily. And Kyle Busch is now Pursup's closest competition. He's only got 1 more lap though. Kyle Busch doesn't have a lot of time. Oh, Pursup runs high. Kyle Busch gets a pretty good run on the low line here. And here we go. White flag. 1 lap to go. Ooh, Kyle Busch trying to send it through the corner. Kyle Busch trying to send it on Pursup. They're side by side. And Pursup stuck in the middle. final corner. And here we go. It's going to be a photo finish. Maybe. Percy gets a pretty good run. And Percy is going to do it today. Percy Serp will win the Mattel 400 at Atlanta. Quite fitting. In the race sponsored by Mattel, it is Percy Serp who wins. Percy Serp winning for a team that just happens to be owned by Mattel. Run by the Fat Controller, but Mattel, they're the ones who are supporting this team now. And with that, Percy Serp wins again. But the first time that Percy was won this season, although I still remember the other race that Percy won this season. I think he won Orlando. I believe he also won the Coke 600 at Charlotte. So I think that's win number 3. And he's a playoff guy. But could be too little too late in the season for Percy to actually have any chance. As now I'm just going all over the place with these cameras. Well, that race still came down to the wire despite the field getting all spread out. So then, Percy comes on with the win. Kyle Busch almost did it in second. Alex Bowman as well with a good effort in third. And Bank Coates at the last second came home in fourth. Oops. So Bank Coates is coming home in fourth. Ryan Preece, another good day for him. Chase Elliott comes home in sixth. And Cole Custer as well. Good day all around for some playoff guys. So, not really going to change much though. As looked on the leaderboard. So Chris Brewer comes home in 8th. Tyler Reddick in 9th. Denny Hamlin in 10th. And you have Martin Truex Jr. in 11th. And Frodo Bobbin in 12th. These two are the guys. And this race actually do very little to change the championship fight. As Truex only one spot above Frodo Bobbin. That's looking to be an extra point gained on him. And Ryan Blaney 19th as well. Ryan Blaney will lose a little bit of ground on Frodo Bobbin, but not a lot of ground. So this championship is still wide open between these three drivers. Donald comes home in 13th. Jimmy Johnson comes home in 14th. Doug 15th. Matt Kenseth 16th. Douglas in 17th. Tim Tom 18th. Ryan Blaney 19th. The Relix Boxer in 20th. Kurt Busch 21st. Eric Jones 22nd. Clint Boyd 23rd. Matt DiBenedetto 24th. Cale Nerver comes home in 25th. Chris Bell comes home in 26th. Eric Gunwell 27th. Joe Logano 28th. Rebecca 29th. Brian Kozlowski 30th. William Brown 31st. Gridgen 32nd. Oliver 33rd. Ricky Stuntz Jr. 34th. Russell David rallied back to finish home 30th, come home 35th, but yeah, it was looking good earlier, but ultimately the thing that bit Russell David today was pit stops. I have no idea how that happened, but Russell David was looking good, even led a lap, but unfortunately, I think that has just sealed Russell David's fate for this season, so we have to give it a go next year. Austin Dillon comes home 36th, Bud Wallace 7th, Ryan Newman, 20th. Austin Dillon 36th, Bud Wallace 7th, Ryan Newman 38th, Nia 39th, Derek 6th 40th, Mommy in 41st, and Reed Sorensen in 42nd, going a lap down. Although Mommy also almost went a lap down, and Derek 6 did too. Also Nia. Although I will say this, Russell David wasn't the only one that got bit by pit road policy as well. Nia as well was up there, leading the pack early on. Fell all the way back down to 39th. I have no idea what happened during the pit stops there. Well, that's it from Atlanta. Next week, though, will be another interesting week indeed. But also another thing worth mentioning, I almost forgot to say, Percy Serp is going to do the sweep for Source Motorsports number 1 here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. If only a Source driver had won the Siemens Axis race, it would have been a perfect setup for Source Motorsports. But, well, at least they tried. That is all from Atlanta. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in whatever I make next.